service. There you go.
And I'm alive. So this is Memorial Weekend where you kind of memorialize the deceased. That's
Right. Right.
But it's
Usually it's pretty. They do have a parade in Mount Angel, which we go to, and Kathy's dad, who was a Pearl Harbor survivor, would wear his uniform that he finished out his service in from 1945. He wore that every year.
Wow.
Which is really amazing.
Yeah.
And he'd squeeze into that thing amazingly. He was a great guy, and he was actually in Pearl Harbor. He was a gunner's mate on the USS Bagley. So the way it was, the Japanese, the torpedo bombers had to fly down a narrow channel. You'd have to look at a map, but there was a narrow channel that led to all the big battleships were lined up. So to get a clear drop with the torpedoes, they had to fly down this channel, and that's where all the destroyers were parked, and the smaller cruisers, and Bill Scherer was a gunner's mate on the Bagley. I think he was 17 years old at the time. Might have been 8. He might, because he got in early. And there was no officers on the ship. I think the highest ranking officer, and I might be wrong in this, the highest ranking officer at the time, I think, was the chaplain. And of course, he had no.
What do they know?
Yeah, what's that all about? And so they had to break the locks off the ammunition boxes to get the ammunition out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they were not prepared. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said that the Japanese torpedo bombers, they were so close. They could clearly see the pilots in the cockpit. They could see the rounds going through the fuselage. I mean, because they were just, I don't know. They couldn't go super fast to drop those torpedoes. I think they had to slow down. It wasn't like they were screaming by at 300 miles an hour. They were going slow enough to where, so anyway, it was a pretty amazing account of the battle from his perspective.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that's pretty. And he died when?
He died about 5 years ago at 95. He was 95 when he passed away. Yeah, he had a good long life. He was a great guy. I mean, just really. I mean, he had some amazing stories.
The guy that served under Patton in North Africa, and it's Kim's kind of grandfather, but step grandfather, my wife.
Right.
Dick Stevens, and he was just enlisted. I don't know, whatever his rank, private first class, but I think, I don't know if he was armor or infantry. I don't remember. Many years ago, where we talked. I'm like, well, did you ever meet Patton? He said, well, I did. Yes, one time we were waiting for a movement. It pulled over alongside the road, and he was driving by on his Jeep, and he slowed down and he looked directly at me and said, "Button your chin strap, soldier." That's my kind of soldier.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. So my neighbor was a World War II fighter pilot, great guy, John Weber, and really a great guy. But I was fascinated by these different World War II and he flew. Can't remember the name. It wasn't the Air Cobra, but it was the same plane that was very advanced. a very advanced plane. But they had some problems with them. Yeah, I know how to sneeze. Um, and he said, "Oh, I flew this plane." I said, "Oh, you flew the Iron Dog," because that's what they called. That was like the negative nickname for that plane.
Oh,
And he did not like that I brought that up.
like that.
What the hell do you know about it? And I thought, you're right. I don't know anything. I'm just repeating what I heard. So I slunk
You're a
off into
really
the
good pilot on Nintendo.
It was a computer. Yeah, right. That's where I was at playing computer game. I didn't know anything, and he did not even like that I mentioned that. So what do you know about it? He said, "Okay, well, that's. I'm not going to say anything else. That's for sure."
That's about the
I know
Iron
he's going to
Dog.
swing it. That's right.
Yeah.
But
So,
it was
what's a
fun.
good movie for Memorial Weekend? What do you watch?
Well, A Bridge Too Far.
Classic.
The Longest Day. I mean, that's
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan, Black
Oh,
Hawk Down.
Private
I mean,
Ryan's an awesome movie.
that. Well, if you want World War II, and then there's Heartbreak Ridge, but that's World
Yeah,
War. Is that
that
great?
was good. What's that?
I mean, there's a bunch of real. I mean, some of them
Yeah,
are
my
too good.
kind of my. I mean, they're more recent. 13 Hours. It's about the
Oh yeah,
Benghazi, where
right.
the terrorists took down the consulate in Benghazi. That's a great movie.
I have not seen that one. I have not seen it.
It's a good movie. I read the book, saw the movie, read about it in papers. I remember when it happened. And then there was Lone Survivor. That's an
Oh,
awesome.
that's the one where the guy is down. It's in Bosnia, isn't it?
No, it's in
Or he.
Afghanistan. They get dropped into mountains in Afghanistan, I believe, to assassinate somebody or take picture, do some sort of recon. And then they get compromised by this kid's goat herder, and it's just like, if I watch it, it's really has some great scenes of them running from the Afghanis, in these mountains and everything. And my favorite line is I forget the actor's name, Ben Foster, I believe his name is. Good actor. He's sitting there up against a tree, all bloody, beat up. He's like, "Is there a bullet in my head?" He got shot in the head. His friend's like, "Yeah."
Oh man, did they make it out? Well, don't give it away. Don't give it away.
I know, that's all I'm saying. Is there just look out for that line?
Yeah, I'll watch out for that line. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really. I watched A Bridge Too Far, and some of that stuff is pretty dated. But there's stuff that I just can't watch the real. I mean, when I watched Black Hawk Down, what was that, 25 or 30 years ago?
Yeah, that was good.
It affected me for like a week or two. It was just like, oh, I mean, I don't really watch a lot of the real intense stuff. Life's too short.
Right.
But some of the old,
Black Hawk Down's another good,
yeah, that's a great one. I mean, to show you what some of these guys get thrown into and the politics behind.
The most recent, was it Pearl Harbor with Ben Affleck? It was supposed to be. It was pretty good. I guess they had done one previous. It was pretty crappy, but then the newest. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's Pearl Harbor. It's a better rendition.
I haven't seen any of the really. Oh, you know what? A great one. If you're into World War II, kind of, this is more along the lines of kind of the espionage end of World War II, is Operation Mincemeat on Netflix. That is really a very well done.
Yeah, I've heard. Well, I read the book, but I was thinking about the movie. I don't. Who's in it?
Oh, there's a bunch of It's only probably 4 or 5 years old at the most, so a lot of modern British actors. It's very up to date, but it's just a great. I mean, obviously,
it's a great story.
It's a movie, but it does follow the original operation that they did, where they
Oh, that's cool. I have
going back.
that out. Yeah, the
If
John
you want
Wayne.
a good hilarious comedy, The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming, with Alan Arkin and Brian Keith.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
That's
a
good.
classic '60s Cold War era comedy. Very good, very funny, very well done. And they actually filmed that. It's supposed to take place in Long Island, but they filmed it, I think, in like around Fort Ord,
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
California coast. So you know they
Right.
had to. Anyway, but that's a great movie with who's that?
And
I mean, what's that?
I was gonna say another one. Comedy Kelly's Heroes with Clint Eastwood and
Oh yeah, that's a great one. Telly Savalas.
Rickles. Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah. Uh, the Canadian guy that played what was his name? Plays the hippie, the tank, the guys in the tank.
Oh yeah. Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, Donald Sutherland. I like the colors. Anyway, yeah, there's some really great. And then the one that Dad really loved was "What Did You Do in the War, Daddy?" with Carol O'Connor.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I
You
haven't
know,
seen that in eons. Yeah.
I mean, those are all '60s era kind of
Right.
movies. But anyway,
But
um,
we were talking about World War II and Patton. The movie Patton is very good.
oh
They,
yeah,
they
with
do
George, what's
see
his name?
Scott.
George C. Scott. Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah,
Well, listen, have a good.
you have a great Memorial Weekend, or maybe should I say a somber Memorial Weekend?
Happy Memorial Day. Yeah, yeah. We're smacking people like. Wait. Oh, sorry.
You got it.
Oh.
All
All right,
right.
Chris. Adios, amigo.
Yeah. Ciao.
All right. We'll see you.